Good morning. It's Artzenin. Today, we're going to be talking about something a little bit more personal concerning the characters of Snapshot. By now, I'm pretty sure people are picking up on the fact that I am endorsing platonic friendship, platonic romance and friendship. This is a taboo subject for some reason. I find it odd that in these games, like Life is Strange, Mass Effect, etc., choice games, it's always choose to hook up, choose to have sex, choose to be the player, choose to be with a man as a man or a woman as a woman, or a man with a woman with a man in these games, in these mangas, in these sitcoms and comics. You get it. It's always the choice that corrupts a person's soul if you're a Christian. So why isn't there somebody out there who provides another choice, a biblical choice, platonic, pure friendship and romance? It is in the book. Jonathan and David were the prime example of this. The moment Jonathan looked at David, he loved him as he loved himself. In Hebrew, kavod comes from the word heavy. It's a respect thing, but you have to bear the responsibility. And Yahweh says, love ahava, your neighbor, as you love yourself. So Jonathan had kavod for himself. Therefore, he could take on the responsibility and bear the responsibility with David the moment they looked at each other. It said that Yahweh knit, he tied their souls together. What? Furthermore, when Jonathan died, he wrote a psalm ballad confessing his love for Jonathan, saying that Jonathan, my love for you surpassed the love I have for women. What love? Ahava is pure. Eros in Greek is physical and sexual. David had many wives, many concubines. He knew what love was. But Jonathan, that was not about sex. That was not about penetration. That was not about marriage. That was strictly ahava. They achieved this. And it has been misinterpreted and mistranslated to be the first homosexual couple of the book. Ignorance. All of it. How do people look at Jonathan and David and pull, oh, they were homosexuals? Does it really bother you guys that the Lord could actually have same-sex friends who have romance like that? Why is everyone so bent and stuck on they have to kiss, they have to have sex? Why? Why is that the goal? Because between Jonathan and David, and they were just one of the soulmate references in the book. I think there's 4 people that pulled that too. When they were alone, because these men knew that they could not show that kind of affection in public. It wouldn't be taken right. When they were alone, they were intimate. One scene, it said that Jonathan kissed David. Doesn't say where, but it had to have been biblically sound and appropriate, because they couldn't have that wrote in there to be a contradiction, because that would make Yahweh Jehovah a liar. He said in Leviticus 17 and 18, he talked about all of the types of immoralities and lifestyles, bestiality, homosexuality, incest, etc. It's against his laws. We cannot, as Christians, no one on this planet, but again, no one wants to truly endorse Yahweh or believe he's only it. So of course, that's objective morality, etc. when it's not supposed to be. But that's not what this is really focusing on. We're focusing on the fact that my characters are pulling this. So I have to explain the process. Jonathan and David did this properly. When they cuddled, when they hugged, when they kissed, it was in private. and it never encouraged them or led them into a sinful lifestyle. That's the Lord. That's how you know that what I'm writing, that's how you know that these characters are pure and of the Lord. Because if I was writing about lesbians, if I was writing about bisexuality, if I was writing to encourage that kind of desire within a person, this would be a completely different book with a different purpose. And that's not what I'm doing. I am showing people there's another choice. I am showing people there is another level in friendship if people want it. If people ask to be soulmates, to be best friends, but to have the Lord knit their souls together, cool. But then there are just some people that were created to be together. Like the Lord made those people to be together. There are other halves. For reproductive, sexual-driven soulmates of men and women, yeah, that's a thing too. But when it comes to same-sex people on this planet, they often are mistaken their feelings for their best friend for something more, which is the title of my book. But in this case, people are mistaking those feelings for something more in a bad way. If they go to the book and they read about the soulmates in the book, then they'll go, wait, that's what this is. If that's what they're wanting it to also be. Because anyone can have platonic feelings and choose to go to the next level. Boy, girl, girl to girl, boy to boy, anyone could do that. But if you're going to truly put Yahweh, Jehovah in the middle of a friendship in this way, it will never transgress. You see, transgressing, sin, and iniquity mean different things. People don't know that. They think sin all means the same thing. It does not. You have to go to the origin to understand this. And I've already done a lesson on this with my class in my church, the True Squad. I had to break down what sin is, Persha, transgression, Avon, iniquity. Sin means you fall short, you miss the goal, you miss the point. Persha is you betrayed someone's trust. You crossed the line. You just crossed it. And you cross it with the knowledge of knowing that there is a divine entity watching you. And then Avon is the actual wicked deed towards yourself or somebody else. When used properly, these words have different functionalities. It can be summed up as sin, but they do different things. And what Jonathan and David did was not a transgression. It was not Avon either. They had the Lord tie their souls together. That blows my mind. And then you see Ahava, which is just purity, right? Purity between a parent and their child. Purity and admiration for one's best friend. Purity for your creator. I mean, Ahava is supposed to just cover a multitude of sins. It's that pure. It's that powerful. And in soulmate relationships that are rooted in biblical truth, the two people of the same gender are experiencing something beyond mortal comprehension. Why isn't that being talked about? Why aren't the soulmates in the book being wrote about? They have all these scholars and all these books that push all these themes: baptism, holiness, sanctification, being born again, the Holy Spirit, the 7 deadly sins, you name it. They have books after book after book concerning these things. And what happens? What happens? People will read those books. People will write books about those books. And people will get inspired and want to go write their own book. But nobody, and I mean nobody, is truly writing and pushing pure platonic romance like I'm going to do. That is why something more is so important as the prequel to Snapshot, because it's showing Amber and Deja and Maxine in the foundation of what all that is. Now, Maxine and Deja became soulmates first. They were destined to be together. Yahweh made them to be together. as friends, just as friends. They have men that will come into their life that they will hook up with later. But as far as their friendship is concerned, it's unique, it's special, because Yahweh's in it and wants them to enjoy that type of depth to their friendship. But Amber, she's interesting. Amber is very fleshly, very worldly, very carnal. Amber comes from, I don't want to give away her story, but Amber is coming from a completely different, twisted world, let alone when she gets tossed into Li Jiu. And I know in French, Li, L-E, is being pronounced wrong, but I don't have the ability to, that part of my brain will not allow the vowels and the letters and the sounds to work properly, if that makes any sense. Anyway, in Li Jiu, when you meet her in the journals, when you meet her in something more, she's not a Christian. Deja is a wayward Christian. She started out great and then she backslides. She starts off better and then she falls right back. Whereas Maxine is solid, mistakes and all. Deja will redeem herself later, but just bear with me. When those two meet, Deja and Amber, Deja is able to have that connection with Amber because guess what? The Lord knows that if anyone needs a best friend, a soulmate, with the support and the loyalty and all the good feels, it would be Amber Fierce. She needs to be saved. But because Deja was already sort of playing with both sides, it worked out because scripture says that he can take the most wickedest, evil, corrupted things and work it out for his glory. So in the beginning, it looks as if it's a controversy. It looks as if that is a double standard. How can a wayward Christian be a soulmate, which is supposedly so pure, with that person over there, which isn't pure at all? Because Deja gets saved, truly saved later, but her foundation and build is in something more where Amber is corrupted. Amber was coming to Deja because she saw the corruption in Deja. She was able to connect with that. So Amber, will go chase Deja, who was already exposed to soulmatehood through Maxine when she was good. So she knows what she's feeling isn't sexual. She knows it's not homosexual either. She knows she's not a lesbian. That's her confidence. She already experienced that whole scenario with Maxine. And they were in church at the time. And the pastor explained everything I just told all of you. That's big. And that's the context of Something More and Snapshot. Something More, I am also writing in the middle of Snapshot, and it's almost done. It's about to be dropped. But this was so just vital for the reader to understand. Otherwise, the readers are going to think, so you're a Christian and you're endorsing LGBT. No, I'm not. You can be LGBT if you want. You can think what you want. Your all's opinions are your own. You're welcome to do that. But I pity every LGBT and skeptical Christian who's watching this that thinks that what I'm talking about is heresy and ridiculous. Yet all the video games and entertainment, even some in Christian entertainment, will push LGBT themes and even try to say that it's fine, it's acceptable because love is love. There is a difference between ahava and earthly definition of love. Y'all gotta go educate yourselves and study for that reason. And the ahava that Jonathan and David had never produced transgression or Avon, ever. And the ahava that Max and Deja have, and then the ahava that the Lord behind the scenes is allowing Amber and Deja to experience, even though they're both kind of wayward, it will all come together later and play out for his glory. I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to give the readers and the fans of Life is Strange another choice, the right choice. I'll see you in the next update. Thank you for watching. Be safe. Have a nice day. And know I said this with love, not with judgment. Bye.